Hello everyone, welcome back to Journey with Data. Let's explore this journey with Python a bit further. While performing different operations on a dataset or datasets, there is often a need to combine them. So today we will be discussing on how to combine different datasets in Python pandas. And in case you are unfamiliar with the concept of data frames, have a look at one of my previous videos on the same. The link is given in the description box below.
Let's see on how to concatenate pandas objects. Concatenate, as the name suggests, holds the similar meaning as we have elsewhere. For example, in SQL, in Excel, everywhere it means the same, which is combining different objects. Now, the basic syntax is pandas.concat and then the parameters you wish to specify. Panda, or instead of pandas, here I have written, instead of pandas, I have given an alias which is pd. So pd.concat and then the parameters. Now, let's explore what these parameters are. So I am at pandas.pydata.org, which very well explains all the parameters associated with a pandas.concat. As you can see, so pandas.concat and then the objects, which are your data frames in this case, and axis equals to 0 or axis equals to 1. Axis equals to 0 means that you are concatenating along the index, and axis equals to 1 means you are concatenating along the columns. And then the join that you wish to specify, the default join is an outer join, and then accesses and ignore index equals to false, keys, levels, verify integrity, sort, and a copy. So this is what pd.concat is, and along with the parameters. So this is a basic concat syntax where I am combining df1 and df2 data frames which were created earlier. So I'm not passing any parameters, which clearly implies that the default values will be passed for rest of the parameters that we just saw. So pd.concat df1 and df2. Now, if I run this, you will see that this has combined the values of data frame 1 and data frame 2. See this. Now, let's just verify this. If I take a count, if I want to know how many values are there or what's the count of the values, I can simply combine it with a count function. So this will tell me that there are 10 rows in ID, 10 in product, and 10 in prod ID. So this is how we are combining. If you want to store it in a variable, you can very well go ahead and store it, and then later on for your purpose you can print it. So this tells me that there are 10 rows. Now let me remove this. So this is how we concat two data frames in a most simplistic manner. And also note that the index is here 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4. And I have not passed any parameters for access as well. So default parameter for access, now you must be now aware that concatenate basically is concatenating the values or the objects along an axis. Axis equals to 0 for index and axis equals to 1 for columns. Now here I have not passed any parameter for axis, which means that it is concatenating along an axis. So here, as you can see, that 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4 along an index. So this has concatenated the values along an index. Now if you want to go more deep into this, let me basically print the values of my data frame. If you see that 0 1 2 3 4 are the indexes of data frame 1, and 0 1 2 3 4 are the indexes of the data frame 2. Now if I print this pd.concat, the object, the variable that I've created, if I print this, you can see, notice the indexes here 0 1 2 3 4 0 1 2 3 4. So this has concatenated along an index because I've not passed any value. So you need not to specify axis equals to 0 for concatenating along an index. That's a basic concat. Now let's go more deep into this. Now if you want to ignore these indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, if you want to ignore them, you can combine the pd.concat function with ignore index equals to true. You know, the property we just saw. So let me run this. Now notice the indexes. Now if I again take a count, if I again take account of this, you'll notice that the values are going to be same. The count is going to be the same. However, the only difference resides in the indexes. Now the indexes are not starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. The indexes are just a sequence numbers here because I have ignored the index. I have set this property ignore index equals to true, which has basically ignored the indexes for both the data frames while combining them. Now, combining the data frame objects horizontally along the x-axis, meaning combining the data frame objects along the columns when we are passing parameter axis equals to 1. So this also is same, pd.concat data frame 1, data frame 2, and I'm passing value x is equals to 1. Now instead of combining along the index, this will be combined along the columns. So notice the difference now. The index has remained the same 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and now it has combined along the axis. Along the columns, meaning ID, product and prod ID with the columns of a first data frame and ID, product and prod ID with the columns of a second data frame. So this has basically kept the data frame 1 and data frame 2 side by side in a simplistic manner. So let's see what are the contents inside the data frame. df1. Now df1 consists of ID, product and prod ID with 5 rows, and df2 also consists of 5 rows with ID, product and prod ID. I have used the same data frames that I used for the concat methodology. Now let's try to perform a simple merge. So you can also write df1.merge as in the data frame 1.merge data frame 2 on and then how and rest of your parameters. Alternatively, you can also write it in this manner. Let me copy this. Instead of df1, pd.merge, and you can specify the data frames to be merged here. Now, on I am passing an ID parameter because I have same column names in both the data frames, and how inner. So I am performing an inner merge here. So now this is giving me only the matched IDs, the IDs that are common in both the data frames. Now let's see what were the contents inside my data frame. So df2, if you notice here, let's see df1. df1 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and df2 was 10, 20, 3, 4 and 5. So 3 and 5 were the matching rows. So this is what an inner merge has given me, 3 and 5, and then the columns of both the data frames, product ID X, prod ID X, product Y and prod ID Y. So this is an inner merge, and instead of inner, if you want to perform how is equal to left, so this will give you a left outer join, where this will give you the matching rows of the columns. 3 and 5, if you notice, this 3 was matching in both the data frames. So 3 and 5, and rest of the values 1, 2, and 4, they are not present in the right data frame. So the common values and all the values from the left data set. But then these values were not present in the right data set, so this NaN is not a number, which basically corresponds to null values. So this is a simple merge. So what if the column names on which you want to perform a merge are different in both the data frames? For example, I have ID and key 1, let's say. So let's take an example. for the sake of demonstration, I am renaming the ID column that I had to key1. I am utilizing the rename method df1.rename columns, and I am renaming the ID to key1 here. Now if you see the contents of this data frame, you'll see that the ID that was previously there has been renamed to key1. Now I want to perform a merge. I want to combine these data frames, the df1 and the df2, on the basis of this ID and this key column. Now how should I do that? Because I have a single on condition, and how should I mention two columns there? So for that, we have the left on and the right on parameters, the left on and right on arguments. So what you need to do is simply specify the names of left on and right on columns. So pd.merge df1, df2 and left on. So left on is key1 and right on is ID, and how, inner, left, outer, right, whatever you want to. So this will also give me the same result as that of an inner join. So this is an inner join. The only difference was I had different column names. So for that purpose, I utilized left on and right on instead of writing an on condition that I wrote in the previous example here, because the column names are different now. So that was one difference. Now, if let's say if you've performed an inner join, or you've performed a merge operation, and you want to know which row belongs to which data frame. So here, until here, we are not aware of which row belongs to which data frame. Now how should I do that? If you want to know which row belongs to which data frame, you have an argument called indicator. You should set it to true. So df1.merge, for the sake of simplicity, I'll use the pd.merge method. pd.merge df1, df2. Left on is key1 now, because the columns have been renamed. Right on is ID. How? This time I'm performing an outer join, and indicator equals to true. Now let's see. So this indicator equals to true creates a column called underscore merge, which will tell you that this is a left only join, and because that's an outer join, so this will tell me which row belongs to which data frame. So this belongs to the left data frame, this belongs to both, because the 5 and 3 were present in both the data frames. So this will tell me that this belongs to both the data frame. So this is indicator equals to a true argument.
So guys, that's it for now in this video, and I hope that this must have helped you in clearing your basics. Watch out for another video in continuation to this, where I'll be discussing more concepts on pandas merge. So yeah, do like, share and subscribe, and thank you so much.